how we all got here. State Representative George Lang.
Westchester, I'm hoping that maybe Warren Davidson can address a nasty rumor I hear going around. I hear that Trump is considering dropping Pence from the ticket in 2020 and adding Sheriff Jones as his vice president. I'm hoping you can address that. Hey, you know, I appreciate what Todd Hall said about Westchester, but the reality is this. All we as elected leaders can do is create an atmosphere where businesses and residents can succeed. And that's all Trump has done. He's created the atmosphere that is bringing billions and billions of dollars from overseas back here in the United States. And we set out in Westchester about 20 years ago to make Westchester the most business-friendly community in the state of Ohio. And we put practices in place. So we said no to bike paths. We said no to building parks. We said no to government Taj Mahals. We said no to community centers, and we said yes to putting our money into our core competencies. We have the best police, fire, and emergency services in the state of Ohio, and we have the best infrastructure to attract and retain businesses in the state of Ohio. Now, give us credit for creating that atmosphere, but the real credit goes to the businesses that invest their own time, their own talent, and their own treasure right here in the state of Ohio. And I'm going to, go right ahead. I'm going to talk about one of those businesses in a second, but before I do that, when I got sworn in as state representative, people were worried that with me off that board, that we may get some more liberals on that board and we would be heading in the wrong direction. But I'm telling you, under the leadership of Mark Welch and Ann Becker, you can count that Westchester will continue to put business first. What happens when you do that? We just passed Blue Ash as the #2 provider of jobs in all of Southwest Ohio, second only to downtown Cincinnati, with a higher median income than downtown Cincinnati. There literally are fast food restaurants in Westchester that the starting pay is $14 an hour. Not a government mandate. Not a government mandate. Go ahead, I've got time. The laws of supply and demand affect labor the same way they do everything else. And here's the thing I'm most proud of. In Westchester, we have not had a tax increase in our general fund in over 20 years. We're located in Butler County, and I'm so proud of our trustees. I know our commissioners, Commissioner Dixon, Commissioner Rogers are here tonight, but Commissioner Carpenter is a big part of this. This year, we will become the only county in the state of Ohio that is debt-free. When government is debt-free, they don't have to increase their taxes, and as you know, businesses bear the brunt of those taxes. Let me share a little bit about a very special business here in Westchester, just to illustrate the spirit of the people that are behind what we're doing in Westchester. This is a company that started in 1946, right here in Westchester, and they are the advanced composite leader in the aerospace industry. Anytime you look up in the sky and you see something flying overhead, whether it's a helicopter or a plane, or soon to be a rocket on its way to Mars, you can bet that CTL Aerospace has their fingerprints on that. I really want to thank the president of CTL Aerospace. We had a different facility that we were going to use tonight, an amazing facility, but it was obvious that facility couldn't handle the crowd that we have today. And we reached out to CTL Aerospace, and John Irwin, the president right here, stepped forward and provided the space for us. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. John Irwin is in the wrong business. I know he's a leader in the aerospace movement in the world. They literally do business in almost all the continents and all across the world. But he's in the wrong business. You see, as amazing as he is an engineer and the work they're doing here, he really should be in sales. And I have proof positive that I'm going to show you that is indisputable, it's irrefutable, and it is empirical that he's the greatest salesperson in the world. I want you to all meet his wife, Jill. As pretty and wonderful as she is, John's the greatest salesman, and your kids are here, and you two are lucky that your mom's so pretty and passed all those good looks along to you. So we really appreciate CTL and what they've done. You know, I toured this facility about a year ago, and they had a little under 200 employees, but they were growing. A lot of the growth was due to the economic policies that Trump put in place. Today, they're over 300 employees, and I have no doubt that within 6 months, they're going to be over 400 employees, high-paying jobs right here in Westchester, manufacturing jobs, those jobs that Obama said are leaving, and they're not coming back. John, thank you for your investment in our community. As it relates to those jobs, I had a representative from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals in my office about 6 months ago, and he told me this. He said Pfizer is authorized $5 billion of money to be repatriated from overseas into America. The sole purpose of that money to build manufacturing facilities in America. Then he said this, the only place we are even considering in Ohio is Butler County because of the pro-business atmosphere that you have here. Think of the jobs those will bring if Butler County gets selected. When you put business first, everything else works. I believe when our forefathers founded this country, they had a vision of Donald Trump one day being our president. You see, our forefathers believed in the power of the individual, not the power of the collective. They left Europe to come here and start a new concept, the power of the individual over the power of the collective. And if you look what happened since America was formed, a good friend of mine who's no longer with us, Carl Roman, bought me a book called The 5,000 Year Leap. And you read that book and you'll see what America unleashed in the short 200 years that we have been around. And we had pockets before. We had the Renaissance that was great. And going all the way back to Aristotle, who talked about the power of the individual. But as other philosophers came along, they bastardized that concept. And they made the power of the collective more important than the power of the individual. I believe had it not been for government, we would have discovered the airplane 800 years ago, and we would have discovered the supercomputer about 700 years ago. I believe that is how much government has held us back until our forefathers created America, created this concept, and we set loose the power of the individual, not the power of the collective. So, for those of you that want to learn more, those of you that want to learn more about Aristotle, I really encourage everybody to go visit a blog. It's called The Overman Warrior. It's written by an individual right here in Butler County. He has a great history on that. And about 2 or 3 times a week, and he does a daily blog. He has a story on why Trump is the greatest president in our lifetime. So everybody remember that. Overman Warrior. Go to that blog and subscribe to his daily newsletter that he puts out. You will not be sorry about that. So, let's talk a little bit about America. Our fathers had this plan of the power of the individual, but liberals came along. And I believe it really started with Woodrow Wilson. No, the power of the collective. And as my friend Chris Wonderberg likes to talk about, us conservatives, we're so busy creating and producing. The liberals are there, taking a little bit of our freedom, a little bit of our rights, so small we don't even notice it, and then all of a sudden we wake up and it's like, wow, what happened? And we wake up and we fight back. The liberals want to take over America the same way you boil a frog. You all know how to boil a frog? If you take a frog and throw him in a pot of boiling water, he's going to jump right out of there. Debbie and I lived in Arkansas about 30 years ago, and we learned how they do it down south. You put the frog in the water before you turn the heat on. And then you turn the heat on and it gets a little cozy, a little cold in. frog kind of thinks he's in a hot tub, and before you know it, the frog takes a nap, and well, he wakes up dead. We have to make sure that we as conservatives don't one day take our eye off the ball so long that we wake up dead. And that's exactly what the liberals are hoping for. So we have to make sure we don't let that happen. And why is Westchester and Butler County so important for the Trump movement? 2016, this is where it all began. This is where it all started. We got on the Trump train before anybody else in the state did. Mark Welch was part of that team, myself, Randy Simmons, Barry Rydell, Joe Statzer was a big part of that. Mary was a big part of that. Did I miss somebody, Nancy? Mark Murphy was a big part of that. We opened a Trump headquarters with our own money right here in Butler County when the rest of the state was still staying with Kasich. We didn't have any signs, we didn't have any shirts, we didn't have any hats. We bought them with our own money, and as people came in to pick them up, we charged them for the stuff so we could buy more. And we were shocked that people were willing to pay. The whole movement started right here in Westchester, spread throughout the Butler County, and we were able to deliver the largest vote plurality in the state of Ohio, right here in Butler County, and we were so important in delivering Ohio for Trump. Why do we stand with Trump? Because he supports our values. He says what he means what he says, he keeps his promises. When's the last time you had a president that keeps his promises? You know, the liberals aren't afraid. It's the things they don't want you to know that they're afraid of. You know, it's kind of like the Bible, you know. Liberals they say we don't understand what's in the Bible. Well, the Bible's not that confusing. God did not call them the 10 recommendations.